Welcome to Opinion Havers, a movie podcast for people who have been canceled. I'm Cody.
And I'm canceled.
Oh, no. It's okay. I'll hire you back for another podcast. Don't you worry
Okay.
about that. We'll get you back in here.
Could it be just this exact same podcast?
Oh, yeah. But if you want to wrap up that other podcast I already hired you for, that's fine too.
All right. I'll wrap this up. All right. Have opinions.
And watch movies.
Welcome to Opinion Havers. Continue. With what
Tyler, what did we watch?
we watched Suicide Squad.
You fool. No, we did not. We watched The Suicide Squad.
There's only one Suicide Squad, Cody.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There's only one Oscar-winning Suicide Squad.
Movie could never live up. That's why they had to throw the in front of it.
Yeah.
Tyler, what even is this movie? Would you explain it to the good people?
It's
and the bad people too. The medium people. All the people.
The magnesium people.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Suicide Squad. So it's like you're thinking to yourself, Cody, let me pitch you on this idea.
All right.
You're thinking to yourself, what are all these bad guys doing while they're in prison? How do they keep getting out? This is how they keep getting out.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
This is the story of how the bad guys keep getting out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I killed an entire city. Next week, I'm out. How? This is how.
Yes. Pretty simple. They got crazy missions. They're like, hey, bad guy, if you join my little super evil team to do the mission, I'll take some time off your sentence. If you disobey me, I'll blow you up.
Yeah. And most importantly, they prove once and for all, sharks are better than crocodiles.
Yes. That's true. That is true. Tyler, how'd it go for you?
I loved it.
Yeah, you did.
Loved it so much, I went home and watched part of it again on HBO.
I was going to watch more of it on HBO. I thought about rewatching it, but I've just been busy.
I played several of the Harley Quinn scenes for Tiffany.
Yeah.
She loves Harley Quinn, but she doesn't like R-rated movies.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
That is hard. That's very hard because she's only been in one movie that was rated PG-13.
She's seen Suicide
Oscar
Squad.
award-winning Suicide Squad.
She loves it.
Yeah. Harley Quinn's good. Margot Robbie's great.
Yeah.
I love the movie. I thought it was very, very good.
So good.
I think it might be my new favorite DC movie. Yeah.
You don't like Man of Steel?
I haven't even seen it. But this is probably better than that.
It's like a river. It means hope. Wines.
Like a river.
It has nothing to do with the fact that through some weird copyright BS, they couldn't say that it's just the Superman S. It's like a river. Wines. Like a hopeful snake.
A water snake.
Speaking of snakes, have you seen that Razor is selling Sneaky Snack?
What?
Sneaky Snack merchandise?
What
I don't
is
know.
it?
It's some wildlife
I don't
for save the
understand.
rainforest thing. But you don't know about the Sneaky Snack? I'm a Sneaky Snack.
Oh, that guy? The guy who puts the little thing on his head and
I'm a Sneaky
it's a snake?
Snack.
Yeah, I know that guy.
I'm snaking in your gut.
But what does he hold on.
They're just Sneaky
He's a-
Snakes.
He's a conservationist? What's happening?
It's Razor, the keyboard company.
Razer? The keyboard company?
Yeah. They make keyboards.
Oh, I was thinking of the scooters. I mean, it still doesn't make sense. Okay, I guess it makes more sense because they're internet
Yeah.
computer people.
So you can buy a Sneaky Snack.
What,
SNEK.
what are you buying? Hold on, but what is
Plushies.
it? A plushie of the guy or just the snake?
A snack. You're buying a plushie of a Sneaky Snack. Or there's other stuff.
The
I don't know. They
internet
got
is a
t-shirts.
scary place. It's
Yeah.
so
Here's the thing. It made less sense when I dug deep into it and found out it was like a wildlife fun thing. I'm like, so they're doing this. It's a deep cut. This is an old meme that they're digging into to save the rainforest. I feel like you could have gone the route of
marketing people.
the company is green.
It's like a marketing person was like doing a class on the history of memes and was like, this is awesome. Everyone else just saw this, right?
Sneaking in your god.
Even I saw that like 2 years after it came out, and that was like 3 years ago. It's been a little bit.
It's been Yes, it's been. Gosh, I got a new phone, and it's growing pains. It doesn't want to unlock with my fingerprint, and now it's like you're a stranger. All right, Samsung, bring back the iris scanner. It worked. It was awesome. Everybody wants it. You'd be killing it right now. Everybody wearing masks. Guess what doesn't get affected with wearing a mask?
Eyeballs.
The eyeballs.
Yeah, that really. I went from a phone with the fingerprint scanner that worked perfectly every time to a phone that only does face scanning.
Oh,
And then the pandemic happened almost immediately after, and it was like, well, I'm wearing a mask all the time in public, and I can't lock my phone without doing a pin code. My pin code has to be extra long because it has work stuff on it. It's a nightmare. I hate it. I hate it a lot.
it's like you got an iPhone or something, but you don't.
But I don't. This movie was great. It's my new favorite DC. I think I can say it. It was very good. Shazam was great. I think this is better. I think there are two great DC movies.
What about Black Adam?
That doesn't come out yet.
Can we talk about the fact that got announced like 10 years ago?
Oh, right. There's a pretty long waiting list for The Rock, so it'll take a while. And I guess Harley Quinn's really good too. I don't know if Harley Quinn's in the great. There's this, there's Shazam, and there's a couple good ones, and everything else is garbage and we hate it.
Yes. No. What?
No, it's good. Tyler, I'm ready. My body is ready. My mind is ready.
You're ready. You want to do this thing.
Yeah.
You want to do it.
I'm ready. What are you even looking up? Black Adam's never happening, all right?
I'm not looking up the Black Adam. What I'm trying to do is switch to, like I did mention, I got the new phone and I just want my texting app, and I realize it's not downloaded. And it's really throwing me off. Cody, look at me. Uh-huh. This is a man that has been thrown off. I've had one phone.
The whole world
is a company phone. That's a bad idea.
The whole
you got
a company phone upside down.
If you got a company phone, get rid of your phone. Save money. But just know it's a pain when you switch jobs.
You just have burners.
Yeah, only use burner phones.
Get off that grid.
Live your life like you're in Supernatural. Tiffany and I have been watching Supernatural. It's so good.
Oh no,
it's so good. Cody.
One of my friends was on the what's it called, the focus group where they tested the screening group for Supernatural.
Yeah,
she's like, yeah, those guys are hot. I would watch more of this. And here we are, 20 years later,
15 seasons,
and we can't kill it. No show should be more than 10 seasons.
That should be the maximum. Cody. It just keeps getting better.
I know the Supernatural fans are big fans and they love it and they're very happy with it.
Here's your mistake. You try to jump in on season 12. That's a bad idea. That's like trying to jump in on the 7th Star Wars movie. Don't do it, Cody. You got to start from the Ewoks Christmas special.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Anyway, do you want to rant? Cody, we need to do this. We need to hop in this vessel together and go to. We're gonna drop in on Spoiler Town. All right? We're gonna slay everyone there.
Okay.
We're gonna kill them.
Yeah.
Rip out their hearts.
Yes.
Viscerally, like.
That sounds like a good time. So I'm a bad guy.
Yeah. We're in it. Do you want to rant first?
Do you want to rant first?
I mean, I can rant first.
Do it.
I got no notes, but I can do it.
I want you to do it because I also have no notes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me pull up my little timey-wimey here. I'm not even going to mute you. Here we go.
All right.
Cody, I love this movie. All right. Here's the thing, though. I'll tell you right now. Here's what I hate. What I hate the most, Weasel. Now let's move on from Weasel. All right. I hate Weasel. Let's talk about things I love. I love I love Funny Rami Malek from Saturday Night Live. Christy Crespel. I love him. He's great. He's like, oh. He's like faking out the guard, like, oh, I'll kill you. Oh, well, oh, nope. But here, we'll go back even farther. King Shark, he dumb, but he trying to pretend like he's smart. He's like, me like a book. Me so smart. His name's Denawe, but they say he's King Shark in the promo. So what is he? What is he, DC? Is he a shark? Is he a fat guy? What is he? He's both, all right? They introduce Bloodsport, which they're like, hey, you know how we were going to have Will Smith in here? Then we're like, James Gunn, come and do it. And he's like, I'll come and do it, but I do not mess with Scientologists. So Will Smith, you get out of here. And they're like, okay, cool. Will Smith is dead to us now. You're James Gunn is here, and who do they get? Idris Elba. What everybody on Earth should revere as the hotter Will Smith, the better Will Smith. He's British. He's hot. He should have been James Bond. I'm mad about it. All right. He's here now. We're loving it. They got, what's his face? He's in there from Walking Dead. Walking Dead, that's where he is. He's throwing things. He's killing a bird. He looks dumb. I hate him. I hated his character. I hated his look. I hated his vibe. I hated him. I'm so glad. Guess what? He died. He went out like a bee too, all right? He's like, oh, it ran away and got his head exploded. And I loved it because I hated him. I did not want him to be in the movie, the rest of the movie. Him and Weasel, the worst things to ever happen to movies, all right? Oh, Weasel. Oh, Weasel. All right? Almost, what's his face? Rami Malek looking guy. He was also not, he's not that great, but he was scared of him when he thought he was a werewolf, but he wasn't scared of him when they were like, this is Weasel, and we think he's agreed to be here. Rick Flag's back. Cody. I love me. What's his name? What Joel? Is it Joel? I don't know. This guy does not fit with my I love him statement. I've loved him. I saw first my introduction to him was Altered Carbon. Oh, go watch Altered Carbon. Oh, it's so good. So good. So good. Joel Kinnaman. It was Joel Kinnaman. I was right. But it sounded dumb in my head, so I didn't want to say it. It's a dumb name for a dumb man, but he's beautiful and I love him. He's back. He's Rick Flag. He's wearing that tight shirt. So tight. He's got toy. So he's there. They're there. They kill everybody. They kill Captain Boomerang, a character I hated. Then they sold me on. And then they killed him. No. They killed him. They blew him up. So he died. Some dude with a freaking whatever, he had a javelin. The javelin was in the movie for so long, and I hated it. Then I loved it. All right, it was there for so long. I love the vibe of this movie. I like the look of it. I like the humor of it. It's better in every single way at every step than the original Suicide Squad movie. Let's just forget about it. Let's forget that ever happened. We got, there's the Harley Quinn. She kills that guy because she's like, I told myself I would kill him. I would do the right thing and I would kill him. If a guy started acting like the Joker and the guy started being like, yeah, I love you. We're going to be a family. Then we're going to start killing families. And then she's like, I'm going to have to kill you now. And then she starts killing other guys. And then she gets out. But it's rainbows and butterflies the whole time. But they were coming to save her after annihilating the resistance that were going to help them, which is the best part. Also, now he's there trying to eat people. One of their people is the rat catcher you're not going to just give me like, oh, this other guy, he's dead now. By the way, he was who, Cody? That's right. That guy. He's the best. Ratcatcher 1. You're going to have your name just be Ratcatcher 2? And your power is you control rats? And then you're going to make me tear up at a moment with the rats? Don't do this to me. Don't do it to me. No. But he did. They got the rats. They did the thing of rats are the lowliest of all the creatures. Why do I have a New Zealand accent? I'm supposed to be from Portugal. They filmed it in Portugal too. That seems like way too much effort for way too little payoff, but shows, Cody. Shows. Now wait, he's
all
on
right,
the comms.
Tyler, I'm gonna have to cut you off mid-sentence there. No more. No.
He says bird, and then they yell at him.
Yeah, bird. I didn't even realize that was Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, they went to sell him and they're always like, look, Sylvester, James Gunn approached like, I love how you do it. It won't even take that much time. He's like, oh, you got it, bud. He went in and did his thing.
Bird.
No,
stay off the comms.
Oh, no, it's so good. Okay, my turn.
I didn't even get to the thinker.
Oh, well, and you won't.
Oh, I'll get to him.
Oh, his name's Pete Davidson. All right. I don't know. Rami Malek and Pete Davidson look nothing alike. How dare you? I was so happy to see Pete Davidson in this movie. And here's what I loved about this movie. Number one, James Gunn stuck to his guns. He was like, no, we're only doing the randos and the weirdos and the second tier villains. We're doing all sorts of random weird people in this, and it's going to be amazing. Number two, that team I introduced at the beginning, Yeah, they're all dead. It was a decoy. I loved it. It was such a great intro. I was like, and here's the thing. I had just listened to a podcast of Flu Laborg, who plays Javelin, who is the guy with the javelin. And I was so excited. I was like, Flu Laborg is a delightful comedian. He's so whimsical and fun. And I'm so excited to see him in this movie. And then he's in it for like 2 minutes. He has like 2 lines and then he dies. He gives Margot Robbie the javelin and she's like waiting for a purpose with it. The whole movie is great. I loved, it was like James Gunn. Here's the thing. He's just true caution of the wind. He was like, I'm doing me this time. All right. I'm under the umbrella of Disney. I've been canceled. I'm back from the dead. I've been resurrected. I'm stronger. I'm better. And I'm doing whatever the F I want. And it was amazing. All right. This was a great movie. You said the look, of course. Yes. Suicide Squad was dark and dirty and nitty and gritty. This one, they were like, I don't know. Let's have it like be bright, but also washed out at the same time. And it's just, oh, it was so good. It was, every time they've decided to do one of these like R-rated superhero movies, almost every time at least, it's worked great. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey was great. Deadpool 1 and 2, they're great. This movie was great. Look, we need to be here. We need everyone to listen and understand. We need to keep doing these movies, all right? They're wonderful. They're delightful. It was amazing. It was so good. Weasel, love Weasel. Weasel. There's like, he's agreed to the rules, we think. Oh, and then he's there. All right. You thought Weasel was gone? No. Weasel. Here's the thing. James Gunn has a brother, I think. His name is Sean Gunn, and he's in every one of his movies. And he is Weasel in this one. It's so terrifying to look at. He's just, nope, he's still alive. Don't worry. Weasel's still, oh, it's so good. Look, I almost cried. All right. The rat catcher thing, amazing. Rat Catcher 2, I love. It's so good. Look, this movie's very well. He did a great job. They're all like, everyone on this team's been chosen for the unique abilities, and then John Cena's abilities are the exact same as Idris Elba. It's like, what? It's the same thing. Oh man, it's so. And Danawe. I thought they were gonna kill Danawe, and I was so upset. I was beside myself. I've never had a movie be so funny and then almost break my heart like twice. But then they didn't, and it was okay. And I was so glad. If Danawe didn't make, I don't know what, I wouldn't have liked this movie. Everything I liked about it would have been overshadowed by Danawe being killed, okay? And it's okay. We made it. Oh, he's still here. He's still with us. He's so good. They killed the whole. They're showing off. They're showing how good they're at killing people. They're going through the whole village. Oh, they killed all the good guys. I loved it. It's one of those things where like you see it happen in every movie where they're like, look, we're so good at killing people. Yeah, of course you're gonna kill the wrong people sometimes. You're just going and killing people. Oh man, it was a wild ride. It was delightful. Polka Dot Man's there. He just pretends he doesn't like killing people, but if he pretends they're his mom, then it's easy. Oh, it's so good. All the shots of his mom doing all kinds of stuff. Oh man, it was such a great running gag. It was a delightful movie. It was surprisingly funny, surprisingly violent, great action, and had so much heart. Every single villain I cared about, and almost every single villain they gave a backstory to throughout they didn't take their time they debrief you on who they are and what they do, and that's all you got to know. And then throughout the movie, they win you over with their humor and sometimes with the backstory, and they nailed it. I don't know how this movie could have gotten better because he just knocked it out of the park for me. It was great. We had this discussion. Is it better or worse than Guardians 1? I don't know. I've seen Guardians 1 a lot, and it holds up real well for me. Loved it. I loved how practical a lot of the effects from this movie were. James Gunn, high fives. High fives all around. James Gunn, you've been uncanceled. You've been resurrected. You're here again. You will never die. Yeah. Is his name Danawe or is it King Shark? What is it? All right, James Bond. Here's what I need to do with James Bond. All right. Here's the problem with every James Bond movie. I'll just tell you. Don't you dare cut me off. Okay. Here's the problem with every James Bond movie. They keep making Daniel Craig James Bond movies. I'm going to have to cut you off
there, Cody.
And then, no, this has to be said. I need to go on record saying this.
All right.
All right. Daniel Craig does a James Bond movie. He's like, that'll be my last one. I can't do it again. They're like, all right, don't worry. We'll just do another one and it'll just be a standalone guy. And they're like, okay, never mind. I'm back for it. let's tie it into the other movies. You're like, okay, I get, all right, fine. But this is the last one, right? And they make another one, and then like, oh gosh, okay, well, let's tie it back with the other. We need to stop this. It's madness. Every James Bond gets 1 or 2 movies, okay? And they're all standalones, and they don't tie in. That's what they need to do. It shouldn't be one James Bond for 20 movies. It should be Idris Elba, you get 1 or 2 James Bond movies, that's it. All right, we're moving on. Now, David Tennant, you get a James Bond movie, and that's it. All right, now we're moving on. What's his name? Jon Snow guy, you get a James Bond movie. Okay, we're moving on. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we do that? Why does it have to be the same dude every time? There's so many actors that could play James Bond. I want to see different kinds of James Bonds. I don't want to, and I hate that it is like every movie. Oh, hey, we tied them all together. Like, yeah, but you weren't planning on doing this movie, so why does it have to be tied in? Why can't it just be what it is, and we can just enjoy it for what it is? You know, that's my problem.
What they should do is just do what like people who tried to treat them all as like one canon do, which is just make this canon is that they're all different people. James Bond's a code name for 007.
Right. And that's the thing, you can keep the supporting cast too. Keep Q, keep M, keep whatever.
Yeah.
Keep Pennyworth, Moneypenny. Keep Moneypenny. You know, you can keep all those or some of them, but just like throwing different James Bonds. Like, yeah, no, this is someone else doing the mission.
Yeah. Because you can have, if you do that right, where you just acknowledge, yeah, James Bond's a code name.
Yeah.
Then you could have directors that are like, well, I want to make one where James Bond dies. And they're like, cool. Then that's that guy's last James Bond.
Yeah, movie. Yeah.
I want to kill Idris Elba. Well, you can't kill Idris Elba, but you can kill his James Bond. That's what I would say to him. Speaking of David Tennant, Doctor Who's in this movie, Cody.
Which one?
The Thinker. Peter Capaldi.
Oh.
He plays the doctor.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which doctor is he? Is he the current? No.
No.
The current doctor's a lady, right?
But for the current one is maybe going to be Michael Sheen, the British one.
Ah, that'd be great.
Yeah, right.
Michael Sheen's the best.
But yeah, so they only gave the woman 1 season, and she blew it.
Yeah, well.
Here's the thing, Cody. All right, since you asked about it, I think they set her up to fail, and I think she defied them and did a very good job. I think they gave her the weakest storylines of any Doctor.
Look, they should never have made a woman Doctor Who. What they should have done, Doctor Whom. All right? And it's the lady. And sometimes they have crossover adventures with Doctor Who. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't we all get a kick? I hate Doctor Who, but like, you know,
how do you
wouldn't
hate
that be
Doctor
fun?
Who? Were you out here watching like the 60s version or something?
Here's the thing about Doctor Who. I don't want to sit there and watch all of it to understand what in the tarnation is. A TARDIS is a dumb name. Phone booths are not.
And
phone booths are for changing clothes and making telephone calls. All right. It's for meet cutes where you're both trying to hide from the rain in the phone booth, and then you look. That's what it's for. It is not for time travel. That is illegal. It is public property, and you're taking a time booth. Phone booth, and now someone else can use it for its intended purpose, changing into superhero clothes, making a meet cute, phoning mama.
What do you think would happen if Superman tried to rip open the door of the TARDIS? Do you think he could rip open the door? No, Cody, he couldn't. Only rolling trash cans can rip open the door of a TARDIS.
Here's the thing.
Unless they can't.
The more I learn about Doctor Who, the less I enjoy my life. All right. Don't include me. All right. Don't CC me. I am unsubscribing officially. All right. I'm officially unsubscribing to all things Doctor Who. If you want it, if you like it, if you love it, have it. Don't make me learn about it.
Here's the thing. There's not much to learn. People who are like, you got to know all this. You don't. You really don't.
Yeah.
You don't got to know.
But I don't want to.
But you don't.
That's the problem.
The thing. You don't want to. You don't need to.
Don't make me.
It doesn't matter what TARDIS stands for when they're doing an adventure on a planet of the jelly people or something. You know, it's like none of that matters. You don't need to know him and the Master's backstory for every episode the Master's not in, or even the ones he is in. Because you know what? I'll spoil it right now. The Master dies 4 or 5 times.
Okay, here's the thing. Look, I'm going to go back. We already talked about this earlier today in a different episode. TV sucks, all right? TV shows go on for too long. Doctor Who, it breaks my rule. It's been going on for longer than 10 seasons, no? Yes. It has 15 seasons? 30 seasons, 28 seasons. Too many seasons for me, all right?
Well, there was a break.
Thank you.
Let me take you through the history code. The
I hate
BBC
this.
owned it. The BBC
This is the worst episode
owned-
we've ever done.
The BBC owned Doctor Who. Then they sold it to some American company for some reason. It was a dumb decision. It was a weird decision. And then the US did the thing we always do. We're like, we'll make a movie. It sucks. This sucks.
Ugh.
Then we sell it back to BBC. So BBC sold it for nothing, bought it for more. So British are dumb people.
Yeah.
Here's what Doctor Who really is. It's their attempt to be like, you don't need guns to be cool. And it's like, it has a very after school special whenever he's like, I'm never using a gun. And I'm like, you feel very British. Feels like if he'd just had like a laser pistol, that would have solved most of these issues. Like 90% of the adventures over like that. If he's just had like a trank gun.
If he was in the Suicide Squad.
If he was in the Suicide Squad, it'd just been over. Like that.
Man.
He had a bunch of things in his head to make his brain good. I will tell you, the character of the Thinker, that's exactly how he plays Doctor Who.
Really?
Just kind of like this and like turning his whole body instead of his neck and like just like confused and looking down on everybody. What? You're dumb and I hate you.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this. The Suicide Squad, who's your favorite?
Of the Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Idris Elba, are you kidding me? John Cena. You know I love John Cena.
John Cena. The Peacemaker?
Peacemaker, yeah.
He's like, I love peace. I don't care how many men, women, or children I have to kill to keep it. So,
Yeah.
oh, man.
Oh,
so good.
Oh, so good.
What when he's in his underwear?
It's just tiny whiteies. That's what I was about to say. Which, oh man, I love that though. You just get to look at John Cena. He's really going. Here's the thing. I've said this before. John Cena is the same as The Rock, but not like he's like, I can be almost as rich with less than 1% of the effort.
Yeah.
If I could just do funny instead of going hard on everything.
Yeah.
The Rock is going to die in a year, all right,
Yeah.
from like a heart attack.
Right.
John Cena's living to 80, all right? He's living a full life. The
Yeah.
Rock, you can't. Do you think The Rock is going to be 70 ever? Can you envision a 70-year-old Rock?
No.
Right?
I can't.
You
I can't. I mean, The Rock's been 38 since I've been born.
Yeah.
Like he's always been that age, but
can you imagine a 70-year-old John Cena? No, because he's a vampire. He'll never age.
yeah. I really like Denaway. I really liked him.
Yeah, he did.
He really made my heart sing. He makes his little friends.
Yeah.
He's reading this book upside down.
Yeah.
He's so pure. He just wants friends, but also to eat people.
Yeah. He's just hungry and he likes people. He likes
Oh my
eating
gosh.
people. Speaking of sharks, I just want to drop this bomb on you for a second.
Yeah.
I am fixing to move to Massachusetts, as you know.
hmm
So that's not the bomb.
Okay.
The bomb is I did look up through a course of many looking up things. I was on a beach, looking up at a beach in the area that I'm living there. There are signs everywhere for there have been recent shark attacks.
Oh,
swim at your own
no.
risk. It's like, I am driving to this beach and I'm getting in the water. And I'm going to get in the water up to halfway up my shins where you're in no danger from the shark.
Yeah.
Not up to the knees because that's when you are in danger.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to leave and I'll be like, yeah, I swam in shark infested water.
My gosh.
And I'm going to say that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you are.
Tiffany will just swim in it. She doesn't care. And I'm like, I'm not letting you swim in shark waters.
Yeah.
Not losing my wife to a shark.
Oh yeah.
Whether it be a shark or whether King Shark steals her away.
He could. Very much. I loved Ratcatcher too.
Why did
I just love that.
That's her name. It's just two and he's... Why am I spacing on his name? Don't tell me. Don't. Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi, yeah.
How are you going to drop Taika Waititi as he died? He's her dad. He gets one line. Moving on.
So good. Oh, it was
He
great.
made
this
us
movie
cry.
had so much heart behind the vicious villainy in the humor. It was so good.
Which I do like because it's easier to make us be like, oh yeah, Bloodsport. I don't ever know him, but it's easier to take a villain that doesn't have a lot of backstory, a lot of people
Mhm.
don't know, and be like, see, they're bad guy, but they're not like a bad guy, you know?
Yeah.
Versus like Deadshot, where it's like, I mean, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. I saw
It's
some
like-
trivia saying part of the reason they did. Gosh, I'm getting their names mixed up now.
Which one?
Deadshot and what's the other one?
Bloodsport?
Bloodsport. Part of the reason they did that was in case they did want Will Smith for later.
Yeah.
Like, we're not recasting Will Smith just in case.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Because I know like the big reason is James Gunn is he doesn't like the Scientology stuff, and Will Smith's very tied with that.
Interesting.
So he refuses to work with him.
Wow. I didn't realize Will Smith was a Scientology guy.
He's not. He is allegedly. He refuses to say that he is, and he's very said.
That doesn't
No.
seem very Scientology. I thought Scientologists were all about the honesty.
Here's the thing, though. He gets other people to be a Scientologist. So doesn't that make him a Scientologist?
I don't know anyone who doesn't belong to a religion who gets other people to join that religion.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the whole thing.
you for 2 years you slithered about getting people to join a religion.
Yeah.
Would you describe yourself as not part of that religion?
I would describe myself as part of that religion.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I never got anyone to join the Catholic Church. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you were a good missionary, not a bad
I was-
missionary.
I was just saying, I would never, I don't know how that even
Did you ever exercise a house though?
once.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I love comparing you and my old roommate who were in a very similar area, and like other friends are like, oh yeah, I went to Michigan, and they're like, yeah, bunch of nice old ladies, and he's like, yeah, a lady was on her front lawn crying. We had to go in, and there was like stuff flying across the rooms and stuff. And I'm like, you had a very different experience.
Yeah.
Like you had a
Oh my
very
gosh.
very different time
Ah,
as a religious official
yeah. Oh, yeah.
in the South.
Oh, man.
You with your green spaghetti, him with his exorcisms.
Oh,
You
yeah. Classic. It's so hard because I liked so much of this movie. I don't know. I appreciate when someone goes for the hard R, but they like nail it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, look, you went all in, you put all your chips on the table, and it paid off handsomely. Because some people do, and then it's like, yeah, but you didn't execute well. So, and I do think one thing I read about this, James Gunn really liked doing this movie because he was like, all right, we're getting away from the CG because Guardians of the Galaxy is so heavy in CG. It'll be nice to work with a lot of practical stuff.
Like Weasel.
Like we saw.
He always casts his brother as like these
Yeah.
just these like little CG like nuts things. It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
And then the other thing he said, they basically, I don't know, Warner Brothers was genius because they were like, this dude's great at making movies. And he just got like canceled. And Disney's like, all right, we're not going to do the next Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're like, yes, you are ours now. It was a brilliant move. And even when Disney was like, all right, we'll take him back, they were like, all right, you can still finish Suicide Squad. One thing he really appreciated is like, yeah, no, they let me do whatever I wanted. And they gave me like a few minor notes.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Because like, if you believe in a director,
Which-
why not let them just go for it?
Isn't that kind of Warner Brothers' reputation with directors is like they tend to let you do whatever you want and let
Maybe.
you.
I mean,
That was
well, you could say that, but then look what happened with Justice League and Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon.
Yeah, but that also like that came about because he left. Like his daughter died,
Yeah,
and they were like, all right, and then they let.
but the movie's
next
mostly,
guy do
that's the
what
thing
he
is the
wanted.
movie was mostly done. So it's like, hey, you can cut Zach a break, maybe delay the movie a month or two, and he can still finish it out.
No, that's too much.
Or you can bring another director who's going to do a month of reshoots and totally reshape the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's not as good.
But they gave him a break, and they, to be fair, they let him do whatever he wanted, and then they let Joss Whedon do whatever he wanted to whatever Zack Snyder had done.
So I don't
So
know.
instead of being like, yeah, so they were a little too lenient there.
But they did, I don't know. That's the thing. It's the thing that, right, it paid off. That was the problem with Ant-Man, right? Because you bring in Edgar Wright, comedy director.
Yeah.
And then you say, yeah, but here's all the restraints and don't do this, don't do this. And then creative differences, he leaves the movie. Still turned out as a good movie, but you lost Edgar Wright. Then they bring in Taika Waititi and they're like, yeah, Thor, we hate Thor, the Thor movies, so do whatever you want with it. And then he makes the best Thor movie. And so I think people are learning from that, I hope. But it's just a bummer when you're like, you got a great director who has a great track, like Edgar Wright, great track record. James Gunn had a good track record, at least, from Guardians. And Taika Waititi, great track record. If you're going to hire these people, then let them do what a director's job is, which is to have creative control over 90% of the movie.
Yeah.
So
I do like the movies where, Disney's known for it because they've got like Star Wars and Marvel and stuff where the movies that are the best are the ones where they're like, all right, here's the like 7 things you can't do for story continuity wise.
Right.
Other than that, you go.
That's what I'm saying. Like, get the outline approved. Everything else is game.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. And this one was such a good use of that, right? It's a dark comedy, but it's heartwarming and it's gritty and bloody and crass and delightful at the same time, which is like, who else? It's not an easy thing to do. And so if you have a director who can pull it off, then you bet your bottom dollar you better let him do it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I feel like Suicide Squad, and this has got to be like something they're thinking, right? Is that this is such a golden property in that they could release a Suicide Squad movie every 3 years and it would never get old because they could just do a different squad, a different
squad,
mission.
different director.
Yeah.
Whoever the hot comedy writer director is, whoever's available, hire him. Throw him in here.
And as long as you're using, like you were saying, like second, third tier villains, you can kill all of them and be like, yep.
You could also bring someone back. Like, if this is a reboot. You could also reboot it again and be like, here's 3 characters we get to keep because contracts worked out and we really like them. Yeah. Everyone else is new. Or like, who was Blackguard? Pete Davidson was Blackguard. He was in it for 2 scenes and then he was gone. It's like, throw Blackguard back in. I don't care.
Well, I mean, you could also just be like, yeah, this was a mission he did before that movie or something. Like there are literally no rules of continuity to this storyline.
And I think that's what the DCEU is embracing, right? They're like, we were so bad at doing the Marvel Cinematic Universe thing. So now let's just throw money at the projects we think will be good. And it doesn't matter if it all fits.
I feel like also it is that their movie franchise people are starting to realize like, oh, the comic book guys have been doing this a lot longer and know what the characters lend to. Because DC, I think, does that more. And that they do more of like, all right, you're a popular writer. You write us a Superman story. Right. It has to do, you want to reference Batman, whatever. But it has nothing to do with any other story.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel's very much like, this is the current arc. And all the comic books tie into this arc.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how they've always been. So now that's what I've always kind of been like, I've hoped they would do. Like you said, it seems like they're embracing now is that.
And you have to. We're 10 years. We're 10, 12, 15 years into like the superhero boom.
Yeah.
You have to do something different. You have to keep it fresh. And if you keep doing things like this, then you can keep the superhero train rolling. I wonder how long it's going to last. Like, at what point are we going to be? Is it going to be like, oh, Westerns had their golden age? They had their, it's like, oh, Silver Age, Golden Age, whatever. Like you have your different eras. You have like Westerns, you have postmodern Westerns, you have whatever. I wonder. There will always be superhero movies in one regard or another, but when will they leave the zeitgeist? And when will they just be like a parody of themselves?
Here's what
you went from John Wayne to Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I think we're wrapping up the Avengers phase where it's like, hey, everything, we're wrapped up the Chris Evans model phase, whatever. So what's the next thing,
Yeah.
But at the same time, Marvel's still trucking. They're still going full steam.
I think the way that they're going right now, it's going to turn into where superhero movies won't be like a type of movie. It'll be like superhero movie will be kind of like the way you refer to like an action movie or a comedy movie. It'll just be, there are superheroes in it, but there's like superhero horror movies, superhero action movies, superhero.
Right.
And as long as they continue to kind of diversify like that. Marvel's not diversifying as well. Like DC's diversifying more.
You say that, but Shang-Chi's coming out, Eternals is coming out, but Doctor Strange is coming out.
But are those like, but I'm saying like those are more traditional superhero movies though, right? They're sticking with that Marvel vibe.
Yeah, I hear that.
Whereas if DC goes down the route that it seems like they're going down where they're like, here's your director, here's your story, here's what you get to make your story with, you do your thing. Right? That'll be.
Yeah. I wonder how much the profitability is going to pay into it too. Cause it's like, right. Avengers was like so huge And ever since then, Endgame was huge too. But there are so many movies that come out where it's like, oh, it did okay. Not a lot of people saw Captain Marvel. It made money. It made a lot of money for sure, but didn't make money on the scale that Endgame did. And with the pandemic happening right now, and these movies, no movie, right? Black Widow's never going to give it the same return that even Captain Marvel did because you released it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And so 40% of people who see it are going to see it on Disney Plus. So it's just like, I wonder at what point will they be like, we're still making these, but we're doing the Deadpool thing where we threw 80 million at it versus, oh, it's a $250 million movie and we hope to make $1.5 billion off of it and all that,
Yeah, I think the super success of some movies has kind of made it harder for other ones. Because, like, you think about DC. At the top of the line, or top of the list, at least for now, until the sale goes through, they're owned by AT&T. So even the most profitable Warner movie is going to be a drop in the bucket to them. So, that's part of the, like, have you heard about them selling them?
Mm.
So, yeah, AT&T is selling Warner Media to,
Really?
you guessed it,
Disney.
Discovery Channel.
Oh, all right.
But it's weird because they're selling it them, and then part of the sale is Discovery's giving them like a 40% ownership of the new combined company.
Interesting.
So they're selling to buy that company, but not be the controlling owners anymore.
Oh, interesting.
So
Wow.
it's a weird sale, but yeah, it's Discovery. So everybody's like, how is Discovery Plus and HBO Max going to merge? Are they going to separate out? I think
Now, is Discovery Shark Week or Shark Fest?
they're Shark Week.
All right. Okay.
Apparently, they're a very successful media conglomerate.
Interesting.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. Does this mean that Denawe is going to be in on Shark Week?
That's the whole
Are we
reason.
going to have a
for it.
Denawe Shark Week special?
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
If they haven't already.
Okay, how about
filmed it.
Denawe sitting? It's like him sitting there, and you have the screen of the shark footage, and it's Denawe giving his commentary and giving you shark facts, except they're all dumbed down and aren't helpful.
I want Michael Cena. What is that his name?
Michael Cera?
Michael Cera.
Who are we talking about?
For some reason, Michael Cera has entered my mind.
Arrested Development guy?
Yes,
John Cena?
John Cena.
You're talking about the guy who's in this
Okay,
movie, John
yes.
Cena.
Cena became Sarah, and then I swapped it back, and I was like, Michael Cena. No, that's Michael Cera. He is definitely not John Cena.
Okay, I have
want
an
John
idea
Cena
for a movie.
and
John Cena, Michael Cera, they play twins.
Yes.
All right.
And if you do that,
John Cena's an accountant and Michael Cera's a celebrity. I don't know.
Yes,
Hold on.
that's you have to do it. You have to make Michael Cera the bully
Yeah,
to
yeah.
John Cena. That's the only way.
Oh, man.
Much like that works out so well, like Central Intelligence, where you had The Rock with
Yeah.
his fanny pack
Uh-huh.
and Kevin Hart.
What were we saying? Okay, we got John Cena. We got
John Cena
Denawe.
and Denawe doing a Shark Week
Oh,
special.
that'd be so good.
Because John Cena, the kids love him. He can play a supervillain,
Mm-hmm.
and he can be on the Kids' Choice Awards sliming people
Mm-hmm.
in the same day, and he nails both. Okay,
That's the way to do it.
so I want him to be that, and then I want the Big Shark Man
Yeah.
to
me
be
too.
there saying the dumb version of facts, like you said.
Bird.
Bird. Steph comes.
Oh my gosh. This movie was fantastic.
The tiny
it
little
was-
rat man. Oh,
What's
the
that?
little rat guy. The little rat.
Oh my
Simon?
gosh.
He's waving at him. Is that rat waving at me? Yes.
It was so amazing. It broke my heart when he just wanted to be friends.
Yeah.
And he never. Oh, man.
And he pets him. And he gives him a little pat.
Yeah. Had so much heart to this movie, but it was so violent at the same time. It was an amazing cocktail. It was delightful. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
So good.
I
This might be better than Deadpool.
I would say it's at least on
And something
par.
about it being like such a. You can write an ensemble cast, and it's like we have to introduce all these characters. It's not an easy thing to do. And James Gunn did it so well with Guardians and this, where he's like, all right, here's all these misfits. Here's how they're going to play off each other beautifully. It's like when you have a great sitcom like The Office, or something like that, where you're like, oh, everyone found their niche. and we've got this person who's the antagonist, this person's the weirdo, this person's the hero, and they all like have this great comedic chemistry together. I don't know how he's done it with Guardians and with this and with Suicide Squad, and he's pulled it off so well. But he did it. He did it both times. It's not an easy thing to do, and he nails it. Everybody contributes comedically. It's great.
I forgot Nathan Fillion was in this movie.
TDK.
TDK.
The detachable kid.
Deploy the detachable kid. He's just smacking him.
James Gunn mentioned, about using like the second tier here. He's like, there's something so tragic about like a supervillain who's not even that good at being a supervillain,
Yeah.
And I love that for this movie. Man,
I want him to make a Moon Knight show. Give him like $10 million per episode, 6-episode Moon Knight show. It'd be so good. You know Moon Knight?
No,
He's so crazy. He's also Marvel though.
Oh wait, he's in both.
And no, I think he's just Marvel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he's the only one the Taskmaster can't copy. Because his moves are too crazy.
Yeah. Oh man, like
the Thinker's in this sweatsuit. I'm just looking at pictures of everything now. I forgot that he's like wearing a sweatsuit the whole time.
Oh yeah.
When they're doing like the action shot of Rick Flag and Bloodsport and all them, and they're just all in like regular clothes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like yeah. Then the smaller Bullet coming back to play.
Guy Ritchie was interested in directing this movie.
It would have been.
Let's make the next one a Guy Ritchie movie. I'm down.
I think.
Here's the thing: we've been giving Guy Ritchie these PG-13 blockbuster movies, and they've all done okay, but nothing's been amazing.
He's so funny.
Why don't we give him this? This would be a great Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, if it would fit his like heist style perfectly.
Yeah,
I love the polka. Here's the thing with the polka dot man. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like they do the joke about the Hulk. It's like, it's easy if I just pretend they're my mom. Where do you see my mom? Where do you see your mom? Everywhere. So it's just like every superhero movie now making fun of the Hulk. So they're like, that's my secret. I'm always angry. It's like, where do you see your mom? Everywhere. They're all his mom. Even Starro's his mom.
What'd you think of the Starro thingy, the villain?
I think a lot of people are going to be upset that I think a lot of people are going to feel like, kind of like they did with Ultron, they feel like they wasted a super villain, like a super top tier villain on this not top tier movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, Starro
What's the
was
DC
good.
doing? What else is the DC doing that this is,
Yeah.
If your top tier villain makes it in a movie as good as this one, then be glad.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Because it's like, Star was such an apocalyptic thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's supposed to be like on like Thanos' tier in the DC universe.
Uh-huh. DC's burning through all their good villains anyway.
But,
at least the good movie. Right?
But I mean, like, his whole thing is he can throw hordes of people at you. Mm-hmm. So when you want it, you would want to throw him in a movie that's like, we're gonna murder. You throw a starfish on a kid's face, we'll kill that kid. Kind of movie. That's what you want.
It was a good one to use it in because it is rated R and it could go for that creepy vibe and not have to be like pulled back and reined in,
Yeah. But it also kind of makes it where you're like, oh, you can feel kind of sorry for Starro.
Yeah.
It's like these are villains that are killing him, but also he's a villain.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone, you felt bad for every character in some regard or not. Like everyone had a lot of heart.
Except for Michael Cera.
What a piece of garbage. You look at him and you just want him to drop dead and you would be glad about it, Yeah.
John Cena would just smash him into the ground.
Have you watched all of I Think You Should Leave yet?
No.
There's this sketch where it's just Vanessa Bayer. They're writing like Instagram, they're at brunch and they're like snapping Instagram photos and like putting little captions, eating lunch with these two dum-dums. Yeah. And she like, she just goes too hard. She's like, if we died tomorrow, no one would shed a tear. That's how I feel about Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Wouldn't shed a tear. I don't know what else to say. It's hard because this movie was just great and they nailed it. And I'm happy for James Gunn. And let's uncancel some more people that didn't deserve.
No,
let's look.
Cancel more people.
No. Let's
'Cause-
get Kevin Hart at the Oscars, all right? I'm calling for it. Give it back to look.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. If you're going to cancel anyone for the Oscars, do it to the white guy. Why'd you got to do it to Kevin Hart like that?
Because he's black.
No one, that's what I was saying. No, look, you can't, everyone likes Kevin Hart. No one dislikes Kevin Hart. I don't even like his stand up, but I like Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
All right? He's good. He's a good dude. You're good at the humor.
Yes.
Why we got to do that to him?
Have Bo Burnham host the Oscars.
How did Ricky Gervais host the Golden Globes like 5 times in a row, and then we couldn't get Kevin Hart in there once? Ricky Gervais like spat on the faces of the people in the room multiple years in a row. He shocked people. He made people upset. And then we're like, no, we can't do Kevin Hart. We can't do him. Sorry. Not
Here's the
allowed.
thing.
He got canceled for the exact same thing James Gunn got canceled for. So
Yeah.
let's do it.
Let's have him direct a Suicide Squad.
Here's what we do. You have Kevin Hart do it, co-host with a gay man, all right? Get one of the Queer Eye guys, or get Joe Lycett, or, get someone who's, that's what I'm saying. That makes it right. You get the representation of the black community and the queer community, and boom, we right it or wrong. And this is the problem with the world today, all right?
Yeah.
It's only a lose scenario. It's like, well, that person, look, that person, they made a bad joke, so they're not allowed to be in it anymore. It's like, no. Make this person write jokes with the gay person. Now they can see the other side of the coin, and now they've learned something, but they didn't have to get fired. And we got to include a queer person. You know what I'm saying? There's better ways to put me in charge. Put me in charge, Hollywood. I'll give directors the right to direct. I'll make James Bond movies more fun and interesting, and I'll better representation. People in the Oscars. Your Oscars have sucked because there's no host. It's all chaos, it's pandemonium. All right?
Yeah, it is.
Kevin Hart and a gay man. I don't care which one. Any of them. Get him in there. Gay
Alright.
woman, you get him in there. I want to
I'm-
see him.
I'm putting on my
Make him
Hollywood.
kiss.
I'm putting on my Hollywood executive hat here, Cody.
Yeah.
Here we go. I hear you. I get you. Here's what we'll do. We'll have the straight guy that played one of the gay guys in Modern Family host.
Oh.
That way there's representation of the gay community.
Oh my God. You don't get it. All right? You don't understand
All right,
why we're here.
I'm going to take off my hat here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a dumb idea. It's a dumb idea that would make everybody upset if they knew, but everybody's going to sit there and take it.
In the meantime, anyone would just be happy to get the gig. That's what sucks about it. No one's going to say no, even if it's a bad idea. It's like, well, yeah, no, it's a great gig. If you're a joke writer of any kind or comedic performer of any kind.
Yeah.
Whatever. James Gunn, keep it up, bud.
Have James Gunn host the Oscars.
Oh my gosh. That's all. It's hard. It's a hard one because I loved it. It's a great movie.
It is so good. It's so funny. I like even there's the part where Polka Dot Man has his superhero moment and then
Yeah.
he dies, and it's like, oh, it's funny and sad, and
Yeah. Ah,
so it's like they're gonna die, but I hate it.
yeah. And let's do it again. Let's give us another one. That's all I had to guess. That's all I got to say. How'd this one do so far? Box office.
Box office wise,
Yeah.
I never gave my facts on the Star Wars movie. You know,
No, you didn't, but that's okay.
we got to go back and re-record the whole thing, Cody,
Yeah, you're right.
from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Here's IMDb is fighting
This
me.
was the first R-rated movie to be filmed entirely with IMAX.
Oh,
That's crazy.
okay. Budget, give me your guess. I'm going off the IMDb numbers, which is
My
iffy
guess,
at best.
80 million.
You're so dumb. 185 million.
Wow. It looked great though.
Yeah.
It looks really good
Gross worldwide,
so far.
Yeah.
250.
121.
Oh, God darn it.
Yeah.
That's hard.
So streaming services are dumb and we hate them. That's what we take from that, right, Cody?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We
Pete
need
Davidson missed.
Cancel. Hashtag cancel Disney.
Gosh. That's
I'm
such a bummer. This is such a good movie.
It is a good movie.
I'm sure Suicide Squad 1 made more money than this then.
Here's the thing, though.
What?
Because everybody here, okay, this is what bugs me about everybody open arms about the only people saying movies aren't successful and like classifying them as unsuccessful because they're doing the dual release thing are people who are not in charge of whether or not the movie is declared successful.
Yeah.
It's people who are like, now they're going to come out and say it's not successful. Meanwhile, I feel like Warner's like, we feel like it was a pretty big success because we got like a ton of people signed up for HBO Max. And that's $15 a month, probably for the rest of their lives.
Right.
So I feel I never hear anything coming from Disney or from Warner saying these movies failed. They're always like, it's doing so well, we're just gonna keep doing it. Disney, I feel like both of them have pulled back a little bit on like saying they'll all come out like this, mostly just because there's been such an outcry of people being like, now they're not successful, and they're like, okay, since you guys apparently have declared that they're not successful.
Well, it is like Disney's getting sued by Scarlett Johansson for Black Widow because she was like, I signed on this movie with the agreement that I would get a cut of the ticket sales, and now you're saying I'm going to get 50% less ticket sales? That's BS. Which
I bet you that was part of the whole point of them pushing for this, was then they could say, well, we would still get as much money, but there will be less ticket sales. So we have to pay less to the actors that have that in their contract.
Yeah.
And we can more readily offer that to people. Yeah. Bigger percentages, but have to pay out less money. So I'm sure in their minds they were planning on that lasting for several years as a way to pay actors less.
Yeah, I mean, with Black Widow, though, it's like this movie that was set to release before. You know what I'm saying? Black Widow was made and supposed to be released pre-pandemic and everything. So
yeah,
that's what messed it up.
But I mean, like, you know.
What do you think she'll win? I mean, it's hard to sue Disney, but do you think she'll win like a settlement at least?
I think they'll settle with her. Yeah, I think they'll settle for like whatever the estimated, not like pre-pandemic, ticket sales would have been.
Where's Disney gonna get that money from?
Oh yeah, the Disney Plus subscriptions.
Oh man.
I mean, I just signed up for Verizon. They're paying for that now. So Verizon just pays them for like everyone who has Verizon to have Disney Plus.
Yep. Oh man, this is a great movie. If you have any interest at all or don't mind an R-rated comedy, you gotta see it. It was great.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, they're fine with the R-rated, but they don't like the nudity, Cody. They don't like the sex.
You're right.
There was one. Was there one? Was there two? Well, how many? Cody, how much sex?
There's no sex. There was a little nudity.
How much? You paid more attention to it than me.
Yeah.
They went to a gentleman's club that turned out to just be a bar, and that blew my mind. I was you got up and left like a coward.
Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom. Here's the thing. I was in a 2-movie marathon.
Yeah.
And I had already drank like a whole soda in the first movie, and I was halfway through a second soda in the second movie, so it was going to happen at some point.
It was a bold choice for you to come from one movie into another.
It worked out great, though, I have to say. It was a good time. I took the day off. Saw Jungle Cruise, then I saw the Suicide Squad, which is the perfect, in terms of contrast of content. Both great, both very good.
Tiffany, I think, went to go see Black Widow again. She's seen it 4 times in theaters.
Wow. See, Scarlett Johansson has her to thank for her. Yeah. This is a great movie.
It is.
You got to see it. A+. I don't know. It's great.
It is. I mean, it's one of my favorite superhero movies.
Yeah.
Period. Of any franchise. It's
fantastic. It was feat of James Gunn. He'll never make a better movie. I'm just gonna say right now. I wanted to make a better movie, but how do you do it? It was fantastic.
Suicide Squad 2. Here's the thing: if I was to make a sequel to this, I would just put a random number at the end. I would make like Suicide Squad 7.
Right.
Everybody would be like, is it because there's 7 guys? No.
Yeah.
It's the 7th movie. They just haven't made the other movies yet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's how they should do it. Just random number generator. This is the number at the end of your movie.
Yeah.
And then people have to stitch it together.
Oh, my gosh. Of course they would. Wow. It's a great one. Go see it.
Yeah.
To get it home, see it at the movies.
Go see it. You'll understand the bird. It is worth seeing in a big theater, I think. Because I watched some of it at home, and it's ridiculous how much because they put so much into like the sound. The sound is the big thing for me in the theaters. Because, I've got the big fancy TV, but I don't have a big fancy home theater sound system.
It takes a lot to get the sound going.
So that alone, I think, is worth price of admission for to go see it in it. Even like a regular theater.
Right.
So.
Man.
Their screen still got the weird shimmer effect on it, and I hate it. It's like a weird shininess to movie theaters. It's because the silver in them, right?
Yeah.
I don't like it. Which I never noticed it. I used to notice it, and now I notice it more with the new TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't
Contrast.
Don't ruin the movie for me. The movie theater for me. I need it.
You're the one talking about the big punch in the middle of the Dolby theater.
Yeah, I can't see anything in the Dolby theater anymore. Fix it.
They probably fixed it.
AMC Berrywood's fix. It's been there for a while. Fix it.
Oh.
All right. Thank you for listening. Share us, rate us, review us, wherever podcasts are. We meme now. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. @Opinion Havers. Share. Look, the memes are there for you. We do it for you, for no one else. Mostly for ourselves, but also for you.
Yeah.
For the people, for Weasel, most of all.
Weasel.
Thanks for listening. Until next time, watch movies.
And have opinions. Wait, Weasel was just lying there for days, right?
The way he ran off.
He's like, and then just kind of like
everything about it is just
kind of flopped.
Oh.